Hello, mate. We're here with episode number 10 of the Training Log Podcast. I'm Lucas Berg, along with my co-host Noah Pickard. Noah, how is it going today?
Doing great. How are you from across the pond?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm doing good. I did British today. Do you like British?
That's something, yeah.
God, every time. I'll get you one day. It's fine. Point is, I do it for a reason. I'm wearing this really goofy fit for a reason. Do you like it? It's the Ultimate Runner fit. We got the rubber ducky chicken legs on. I wore these while I ran today. And we got the Bali bucket hat on. That's not a specific runner fit, but it's meaningful to our guest today, because our guest today is none other than Putu Sutayasa, long jumper for Binghamton University, otherwise known as one of my best friends. Wasn't it a fun time?
It was a great time.
He actually got me this hat, this Bali bucket hat, which I'm ruining by wearing headphones with it, but it was a really fun time. He is the nicest kid ever. I've known him since third. We get into it. We get into the story of how we became close friends, so I won't spoil anything. But it's an awesome interview. Can't wait to get into it. But first, we have a race tomorrow.
We do have a race tomorrow as the time of recording this. We're both running the mile. So do you want to talk a little bit about your, I'm going to say score prediction, but time prediction?
Yeah, I think I'm going to win 2-0. Yeah, we're going to predict our times and see what we're going to run.
Yeah.
I'm going on in there with one mindset and one mindset only. So I think it'd be disingenuous to myself to predict anything above 4:30, because that goal tomorrow is to break 4:30. I want to run sub 4:30. I just said that 3 times. I want to run 4:29 was what I was trying to say. 4:29 is my time prediction because I think I can do it.
I don't have any time predictions coming off.
You said you want to do
But I do.
predictions.
Okay. So I'm going to say sub 4:40. That would be a PR. But also, I got to be a little realistic. I'm coming off of being sick. But I think I'm fit. Like, I'm in sub 4:30 shape. But to be sub 4:40 out of being sick. So if I run like 4:30s mid, that I'd be ecstatic with that.
And I know you're used to it, but on a flat track,
Yeah.
it'd be great.
It would be great.
I think for you to be sub 4:40 off of, I mean, he was really sick.
Yeah. So
it would be really nice for you to do that.
Yeah.
So we're very excited. Race at Utica tomorrow, 3:45 p.m. Not that that matters to any of you, but it's going to be fun.
Stay tuned. We own timing.
We own timing. Check us out, because, we'll be done by the time this comes out. So check and see what we're in, so you don't have to wait a week to see our new results.
Unless you want like a cliffhanger. That'd be cool.
That's good for you, too. I mean, you can do whatever, really. You do whatever you want in life, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to get into our, not interview, conversation with my good friend and Noah's new friend,
Yes.
Mr. Putu Sutayasa. He is a 3-time state meet qualifier for the long jump and 1-time silver medalist. Holds NIAC school records where I'm from, and it's just an all-around amazing kid. Great guy. So I think we should just get into it. Are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it. All right, and welcome. We have Putu Sutayasa here with us, to me known as Suta. I've known him since 6th grade. We're going to get into that story at some point. But Suta, how are you doing today?
Doing all right, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
We're doing great.
So we always like to start off the episodes with asking how your practice went today.
Okay, well, we didn't really have much of a practice today. It was just a pre-meet day, so our pre-meet is just warming up, like doing our warm-up routine, and a couple sprints, and then call it a day. That's about it. I mean, I'd say it was like a 9 out of 10. I feel ready for the meet tomorrow. So,
What meet would that happen to be?
I think it's called the New York City Big Apple meet or something like that. It's at Ocean Breeze.
Oh, gotcha. Ocean Breeze. Nice. I gotta say, congratulations on being the first non-distance runner on the show. It's a big honor, I feel like.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
So how would you like to introduce yourself to anybody who may not know you?
My name is Suta. I run track and jump at Binghamton University. yeah, that's about it. I mean,
Um,
that's what we do.
if I didn't already say it in the intro, because we record the intro after the interview, uh, we go back. We have a history. Um, you're one of my best friends. We've known each other since third grade, but we got really close in sixth grade because of the bus, the middle school bus. Um, I'll tell that story real quick. It's not a story. He was in the bus stop before me, and he sat in the front row. And I didn't know him that well. I knew him kind of well. And then I just sat right next to him. I said, "Hey, can I sit here?" And the rest was history.
All kick-started from there?
Kickstarted from there.
Nice.
It's actually funny because it wasn't even the first day of school. Because
Yeah.
on the first day of school, I sat in the back of the bus because I thought I was cool, but I guess it just wasn't the vibe. I just saw a bunch of like the eighth graders, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this again. So then I think on like the second day or third day, I sat in the front and I see this kid coming up to me asking me. I was like, oh wait, I know that kid. And then yeah, um, we played baseball, so like that was like why we knew each other.
Yeah.
But like I never really like talked to him because I don't know, I don't know.
I'm
We were
weird.
never like in the same like elementary school class, so
That's
yeah.
true. We weren't. Those eighth graders were kind of scary on that bus. We had some scary
How
eighth
old were
graders.
you at the
Yeah,
time?
they
We
were
were in sixth grade.
Okay.
Middle school had just started.
they were like big. They were like the typical like middle school like
Mm-hmm.
types of kids like in the movies and stuff. It was funny.
But that brings us to now. He's drumming at Bing. We're here at Oneonta.
Yeah, so I want to talk to you a little bit about the meet tomorrow. Obviously, going D1, you get to go to bigger meets, so you're going to New York City tomorrow. So that's like really awesome. What's your goal for tomorrow? What are you doing? I'm assuming long jump, but and then also how's your indoor season been as a whole?
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm just strictly doing the long jump. Um, I've been doing that mostly for like the whole season. But there was like the first meet that we had at Ocean Breeze. I ran the 60, but it is what it is. But tomorrow my goal is honestly like just to have fun. Like honestly, like this season hasn't been like great, like I feel like I'm still adjusting and like me and my coach are still like basically like trying to connect and like trust each other. And it's like starting to click now a little bit. So I mean hopefully tomorrow we get a big jump. All you need is just one. So I'm very excited about it. It's the last meet before conferences, so it doesn't even like really matter if I do well or not, because conferences is next week. Trying to get a big jump for that one. So yeah.
Are you firmly in conferences? How does conferences really work for D1? Because in our system, we need to be top 18. And then not even time standards or anything. We just got to be top 18 in our event.
Oh, I honestly don't even know, but my coach said like everyone goes to conferences as long as they know that you could score. I don't know if that's the full story or not, but like I know there's some kids that aren't going, but I think most of the team goes. Um, there is like a limit per event. Like, oh, actually, sorry, I just learned information a couple days ago that I just popped in my brain. We could only take like 30 or 40 kids from each team. So like the boys and the girls team, right? And we could only bring that many people to the meet. So that basically like limits the amount of entries and limits the amount of like people in the meet. But because I'm the only long jumper on like the team or like strictly long jump, um, I just get to go automatically. And that goes with like other people and like those specific events.
Wow, that's interesting. Only strictly long jumper on the team.
Yeah.
For a team as big as like a D1 team like that, I'm a little surprised that you're the only one. That's cool.
You said that it's been taking a little time to get to trust your coach. Obviously, coming from high school to a Division 1 program, the adjustments are pretty big. Do you want to speak to the adjustments that you've made, some of the things you've liked, and some of the things that are kind of hard to adjust to.
Right. So, like my high school coach, love him, shout out Lambert, you know. Um, like me and him, we also had like a very like time where we had to like build our trust for each other. And I feel like obviously that's where my coach and I are now. Um, so basically in the long jump, there's like certain amounts of steps that you have to like take before like you run. I in high school did 8 steps, and my coach for this season said I should move back 2 more steps, do 10 steps, like a total of 20 steps, but 10 steps for one leg. And that's a huge adjustments because that's just you're running longer. You have to like build your speed a little differently. And it's like just a completely like different type of like run. So I didn't really know how to do that. And um like the first meet, no idea what I was doing. I just it felt like I just forgot how to launch, which is crazy, but like it happened. And then the second meet, it was like even worse because like I don't know, like I just felt like I was getting tired at the end of my runs, and then I would just jump with like whatever was left in the tank, I guess. But I like kind of complained to my coach, he gave me a big talk about it, like saying like I can't make any more excuses and stuff, like how like I gotta be on top of my A game and stuff. And like I think that moment was where we started to trust each other because we put our differences aside, and like we're now like having like one goal to get me back to where I was before. So like he took some of the criticism that I said, not implied it, applied it to like our training. So I said like how we should jump more at practice, and he applied that to like the practice, and we're like doing some more like jumps with short approaches. And then he also uh, moved me back to my old mark from high school, and I feel like I'm a little more confident. And he's gonna slowly like move me back in the spring, which is like a really good idea because I definitely feel myself getting stronger and faster as I'm like doing the run throughs at practice. So yeah, I feel like we're really like connecting now, and I hope it makes us go far.
So you mentioned practice, and I think you got to understand, as you know already, we're complete anything non-distance related noobs. So I think the question I really want to ask you is, could you just take us through a day of long jump practice, but I guess also coincidentally a day of just D1 track practice?
Okay, so we're on like the spring schedule now, so it's Monday's our tempo day, so it really goes like either you do like broken 600s, but they're not broken 600s. They're like it's like 600-meter breakdowns, 500-meter breakdowns, and you basically you know what those are, right?
Yeah, yeah. Is it where you start fast and start whatever speed and get faster at the end?
No, no, no. You
Oh,
run
so I
like
don't.
six 100s, and then you run 5 100s, 4 100s, and it keeps going
Oh,
down.
my bad. I was under the impression. So when you say broken, at least the way we did it in high school, is a broken 600 to us is, well, it's
I
just.
I didn't mean to say broken.
Oh, gotcha. Because we would do it in the way of like six. It's just a 600 regardless, but the first 400s is a certain pace, and then you got to pick it up that last 200 or for whatever distance you're doing.
Right. My apologies for the misterminology. Um, so we either like did that or we did like 200 repeats. And honestly, like this has been the most I've ran during training and like just being like in season, like in high school. Lucas could like vouch for me. Like I think we ran a total like 4 or 5 times throughout the season. So, I mean Lambert did his best to like get us in shape and get us to do like the workouts, but I think like this year, like yeah, like it was crazy. I wasn't really expecting to run that much, but like as a jumper, but I think it has definitely like helped me improve. But so Monday is our tempo day. And then Tuesday and Thursday are our like event specific days. So for me, it'd be my jumps. Um, Usually on Tuesdays, we do like our jumps from a short approach and then do some like sprints at the end. And then on Thursday, it's more like resistance, speed work. And I feel like the 2 days combined really help you like break down your technique. So like on like the first half of the week, you focus more on like the actual like jumping and the actual like technique, and then on the Thursday, you really focus on like the speed and like your build up throughout your run. And then to end the week on Friday, we have pre-meet, which I did today, and then Saturday we compete. So yeah,
Off day Sunday?
off day Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, yeah, off day Wednesday and then Sunday as well.
So you were previously talking about like an 8-step approach in high school, and then now switching to a 10-step approach. Back in my long jump days in 7th grade, um, terrible. Oh my God, my PR I think was like 10'8". Like these 8th grade girls were beating me. I was terrible. But I think if I can remember correctly, we did a 7-step approach. Um, what's the I know the number of steps you take, obviously, but what's the advantage of now moving back to a 10-step approach compared to a 8-step approach?
So I mean, 10 feet is not that bad. Okay, it's really not that bad. I promise.
Thank you.
There's people that don't even jump. Um,
Personally, I don't think I could even make it onto the board.
Yeah, I was about to say I made the pit, so
Like-
that's something.
yeah, exactly. Like some people can't even jump off the board and make it into the pit. So congrats. And so basically, like the farther you move back, it allows you to build your speed more efficiently and just like better prepare yourself to like jump towards the end. So like from 8, you kind of have to like start moving kind of fast to get onto the board and jump off. Like from 10, you could like slowly build up your speed so you're not wasting it from the start, and you're using the extra energy that you have from the slow build up towards the like actual like jump. Um and like you really want to be as explosive and as fast as possible when you're trying to attack the board, because that's where force and that's where you just really pop off the board and get the height that you want and the distances that you want as well.
How do you mentally are you mentally counting in your head how many steps you're taking, or is it just a faith thing that you know it's gonna happen?
That is, I'm not even joking, very interesting question, because I still haven't figured that out, because I've never counted in my life, but every single video that I watch, I'm always 8 steps or always like whatever steps that I was like trying to like achieve. I think it's like the long jump is it's such a mental type of thing. Like you're basically like in training, you're just building yourself to like trust your mind. You're building yourself to like just wire yourself in like a separate type of way. Like I feel like you guys could like relate, like in a sense, like how like you're not really like your minds aren't focused on like, oh, I'm running the mile, oh, I'm running like the 1,000. You just do it, you know? Like I feel like jumping is just like second nature. Like you just jump, really.
Yeah, so going to Binghamton, were you looking at any other schools, and what was the what were some pull factors that landed you there?
So one of the schools that I was interested in, but like I actually like I just didn't want to, I didn't apply there, but um I was interested in was UConn. Um Texted the coach, they gave me a reply and then kind of like fell off. Same thing with Northeastern. Texted the coach was interested, and then he found out, or I told him that I didn't get into the school because Northeastern's a pretty hard school to get into. Told him that, and he was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." Um, and then my dad wanted me to apply to Denison, it's a D3 school in like Ohio. I got in. The coach obviously wanted me to go there. Um, she was a very nice lady. I unfortunately don't remember her name, but she was really nice. Um, Stony Brook. That was actually like it was Stony Brook and Binghamton. Those were like my top two. Um, Stony Brook, I really loved the coach. He was like such a nice guy, and he really like sounded like he knew what he was like talking about. Um, but like for me, like the push away from that was like the campus. Like at the end of the day, like I'm trying to go to a school that has academic and has like a college life because that's what college is about. So Stony Brook was just not doing it for me. And Binghamton, like when I came here on my official visit, it it just felt like home. Like I remember pulling up like my two tour guides. They're both on the team. Shout out Samson. Um, uh, like he just gave me a tour of like the campus, and it just really felt like I belonged there. And then I met like the guys in the suite, and they're all like very chill, very nice. And then like just the overall like team atmosphere that they had. Like we went out for dinner that night, and like I don't know, just like the vibes that I was getting from like everyone like that was there was just like it just made me really like feel like how connected they were. And I kind of like value team, like what's the word? Um like I really love how like a team is like connected. Like it's just like I don't know, it just gives me like a warm feeling. So I just liked how like the team was like that. So um I think those were like my pull factors. And Thompson, my coach, and Fuka, two very nice coaches. They really made the program feel like it was the right one for me. So that's why I came here. So yeah.
So I want to get a bit into your start in the sport because I don't want to take credit, but I also shouldn't take credit because if I remember correctly, and I don't want to answer the question for you, but you did show up to a couple distance practices our sophomore year, and you just kind of
I did.
more or less were on the distance squad. I mean, more or less mid distance, but you kind of were a distance guy for the first sophomore year that you did it. Um, and then it changed. Do you want to talk about how it changed?
Yeah, so actually freshman year I played basketball, freshman basketball. And then I remember the next year Lucas was like, "Hey, like you should like run winter track." And I was like, "Man, like I don't really want to do that." And then like he was like saying how like he runs like so much, like he's always talking about like, "Oh, we ran like 5 miles today. Oh, we ran like 6 miles today." I was like, "Why would I want to do that?" And he's like, "Just give it a try. Like just give it a try." So then I showed up to like one of the practices, and it was like an easy day. So it was like a good day to show up. I think it was like 2 or 3 miles, and it was like pretty light. And I was just like, I mean, I've always wanted to do track. Like all my life, everyone's like, "Oh, you're so fast. You should like run track." I didn't think I was gonna run distance though. That was like that's how I got introduced to the sport of track and field, which is really interesting. But like sophomore year was like a COVID year, so we didn't even like run that much. But I do remember running at a meet upstate somewhere. It was like a bubble type of
Oh,
meet, and I
yeah.
ran I ran a 600. And that was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Oh, actually, no, that was not the worst thing. The worst thing was running an 800 at our own track
Yeah.
in like 36-degree weather, and it was terrible. I think I ran like a 2:38 or something
I
like
mean,
that.
because that was technically an indoor meet. Like, if anybody's audio only, I use quotations because we couldn't go anywhere. It was COVID, so we ran in like three spots, the Palisades Mall parking garage, that upstate like dome, which was turf. We just ran a meet on turf.
Yeah, I
by
had a
the way.
turf. I had a turf. Full season of turf.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
something.
it's awful.
Terrible.
First season on turf. Crazy.
And then we worked together with the school next to us, Nanuet, to do an indoor meet outside. But it was so cold. It was snowing. I was running the mile there. I ran awfully. Oh my, yeah. I mean, you're talking about it. It was the worst.
Like I just remember like the first lap, or no, the first lap was fine. The second lap, the back straight, you just felt like a wind tunnel, just like you were just going through a wind tunnel. Snow is coming, wind, it's cold, and you're in like a tank top and shorts. And it just I was like, okay, what are we doing here? But then like the next few meets we had at the Palisades Mall, which was on concrete, and the ground was like, I don't even know. It wasn't even like it was a 300-meter track inside. Like I don't know how it was like running distance, but like running a 300 inside that mall kind of sucked. Like I don't know. But um yeah, so like Adam, who's the coach at Nike, he just I don't know, he just put me in like the sprinting events, kind of like a 300 is a sprinting event.
Yeah.
And that was all he put me in. So like I think in the winter, I was talking to the coach on the sprinting team, which is Lambert, and I was like saying like how I wanted to sprint, but like I couldn't be on both distance and sprinting, so I had to choose. And I remember like going to Lucas, like asking him like what I should do, and he was like, "Oh, you should stay on distance. You should keep running
Well,
like with us."
if I remember correctly, I was wanting you to do both. But say what you want to say.
But one day, one day, Lambert saw me running up some hills because I don't know, I was just putting in the extra work, just how I be sometimes. But I was doing hills, and then he was like, "Hey man, you look good." I was like, "Thanks." He was like, "You should just be a sprinter," and I was like, "I'll think about it." And then I started practicing with them, and I just liked not running, like on the road, and it felt good. So ever since then, I started sprints, and in the winter, I started like being curious about the long jump, and I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of fun," but I couldn't do it because I was on distance, kind of like it was a bit, I don't know, conflict. Oh my God, there was actually so much beef between the distance team and the sprinting team, which
Yeah.
I assume it's like that in like most schools, but it was so funny. Lucas could talk about it.
Well, because it wasn't that bad. There were some isolated incidents.
Inter-team beef?
Well, there were just some things that got blown out of proportion, I think, is all. I'm not going to go into specific. I don't want to name names, but there were just certain people and instances where the coaches would have to sit us all down, and it's like there was a famous speech. Shout out Sholton Whitley. Where there was like some sort of sprinter distance conflict between just two. It wasn't like a group thing. It was just two people, and he was like, the famous line is, "You're poisoning the water. You're poisoning our team is like an ocean. And we're dropping poison in it, and you don't want to drink from poison water." And it's like, cool, but there was a good amount of beef. I don't think it was like actual, but it was in the backs of our minds, yeah.
Yeah, so when you
Noah,
joined...
Did you have beef on your team?
Did I? No, not really. Oh. We all got along.
No.
Yeah. Just joking beef, like in the locker room, like having like, fake fights and stuff like that. If that's normal, I don't know.
No, it's... Hopefully they weren't too weird,
nah,
but...
nah. But yeah, nothing. We were a team.
Yeah, we were too.
No, yeah, we were a team. It's just like there's some incident. I do remember at the end, I got up and I was like, let's go or something like that. Like I like tried to like hype up everyone, and it was just awkward silence, and I was just the only person that was like talking. You didn't even help me. You didn't even join in. You
Well,
just let me like you just let me
that was
fail.
that was junior year. I wasn't a captain yet. You were already a captain at that point, right? Or no?
No, I was not a captain.
So you joined sprinting and then you jumped. Was it right away where you're like, "Oh my God, I'm good at this," or how long did it take for you to realize to be like, "Oh shoot, like this can go somewhere"?
So I actually just like rewatched like that first video that my teammate took of me of long jumping. Um, and it was quite interesting actually. But I think like just training the long jump, just like training on how to do it and like watching like the pros do it, watching my teammates do it in the winter really like prepared me to like what I had to do in the spring. So the first meet it was at Pearl River, which is like 2 towns over, and it was a relatively big meet, a lot of schools, and I remember I was in like the first flight, but they like reversed it. So they had like the last flight jump first and the first flight jump last. And I remember being in the first flight because it was my first time. And they had to put us on like the like pity pit. I don't even know. It was just like a separate pit, like that was off to the side. I mean, they were like right next to each other, but it was like the bad jumper pit and like the good jumper pit. And I think my first jump it was a foul. So that's how my career started in long jump was a foul. Um, I was a huge stutter stepper. So like I would just like run and then I would like stutter step because I was looking at the board and then I just try to jump. Um, my second jump was a 19.7, I think. And at that point I was just like, okay, I think that's pretty good. And my coach is like, "Whoa, that's really good," but he didn't want to say that because he didn't want to like hype me up too much. So, which is a good thing, but like kind of, anyways. The last jump I took, which was the last jump of the day, I jumped 21 flat, and I was like looking at like the results. I was like, that's got to be like, I feel like that's kind of a good jump. I looked at like the results. I think I placed like third or second or third, and the person that came in first is actually my teammate now. So, um, shout out Samson again. Um, he was basically like my rival in my junior year, his senior year. But like I think like that was just like an eye-opening experience because like I came into that meet going like, oh, like this is something that we're just trying to do. It's like an 800, um except more excitement because it wasn't like 30 degrees and it wasn't an 800. I just had to run 90 feet. So um so yeah, like I had no expectations and I came out like, whoa, like that was actually kind of fun. It kind of hurt, but I kind of liked it. And ever since then, like my coach and I got on the same page and we just took it off from there. So I'd say I got I got into the rhythm pretty quickly rather than like struggling for a long time. So yeah.
So you have been to the state meet, the New York State meet, 3 separate occasions, right? 3 times. Twice outdoor and once indoor. You are one of, if not the most humble people I know. So you don't have to be that modest here. But with the senior year indoor state meet being your best finish, second in the state, I know obviously you wanted to win. Every time you're there, you want to win. But can you just walk us through all these states' experiences? Because, no offense, Section 5.
Hey, don't hate on Section 5.
I'm not going to hate on Section 5.
We had some good.
You guys really do. You
Yeah.
guys win state titles.
Yeah.
And I'm not hating.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like I was. I'm not. But the point is, making the state meet out of Section 1, like right around the city area where we are, plus being in D1, at least for outdoor, being in D1, it's really tough. It's really tough to make the state meet in any event you do. So, first off, show us how good you were. But second off, just how awesome were those experiences being there?
So like I remember it was my junior year, the first year that I did long jump in the spring. Um, it was just like I don't know, it was like mind blowing because I didn't even know like I didn't even know what track was like a couple of like years ago, like before then. And I didn't even know like there was like a such thing as like a state meet or like nationals. I think the first time I like heard about nationals was when Lucas went to like the Adidas one.
I mean, it was a fake one. It was COVID year, and they just let anyone in. I went with a 5:01 mile, and I ran 5:01. Oh no, I went with a 5:14 mile and ran a 5:01. But it was a fun experience. But yeah,
Yeah, but like ever since then, like he had the backpack and everything. I was like, man, I'm trying to be like him, bro. I remember being so jealous because of that. Like I literally was like, I was like, I don't want to be that guy, but like I'm kind of jealous of Lucas right now because you had the indoor one too, the indoor nationals one, and I was just like, okay, this guy is just collecting bags at this point. Like, come on now,
That
when is it
backpack
my
is
turn?
really like I remember my senior year in indoor. My whole reason to run was for a backpack. So
Exactly. Like you pulled up to a meet like that.
oh, they knew. They
yeah,
knew if you had that backpack. I mean,
Yeah. So, like we, it was like such a cool experience the junior year because it was in Syracuse, so it was like 3 hours away, and we got to stay overnight. And like it didn't really hit me until I won at state quals. I hit like the standard, and all I had to do was just place first or second. And I remember like my coach and Adam getting the packet. I was just like, oh my God, like I'm actually going. Like this is actually like gonna happen. And then like I was like excited about it. My teammate Matthew Schutzbank, who was on this podcast a couple episodes ago, we were roommates, and um like it was just like surreal, like stepping off the bus and seeing like the Syracuse track. That track is gorgeous, by the way. It's like so nice. Just like seeing all like these athletes that were like better than me, as good as me, maybe not as good as me, but still there. Like it was just like crazy because like you knew you were going into a high level meet and you knew that everyone there was like the best of the best. So I don't know, it put like a kind of pressure on like the whole situation, but like I was just there to have fun. Um, like I feel like I shouldn't even like have been there because it was like my first year jumping and it's just like what is happening. Um, I didn't jump well that meet. Couldn't just I don't know, I just couldn't jump, but it is what it is. We had a very fun experience. Week or two later, we went to nationals, and that capped off my junior year, which was a year I did not expect to excel as much as I did. Um, but it was a really like cool experience to go to all these places um, and like meet so many people. Um, yeah, it was actually crazy. Coming into senior winter, I feel like I had a higher expectation. Like I already competed at the state level, and I think that was like the meet that I was just like, all right, let's do something that we can remember forever. And I was coming off a high because at state quals I jumped a PR of 23 feet, which was huge because never thought I was gonna get there because I don't think I was having that great of a season indoor. I was just like jumping like 21 mids, low 22s. And then I just popped out on the last jump at state quals. And I was just like, whoa, let's go. Ranked second in coming into the state meet. And um right there, like coming into the meet, I was like, okay, like we're ranked second. We have to get a podium finish. And that was the mindset going in. It was just to get a podium, so top six. Um, and with that mindset, I feel like my first three jumps, I was a little too focused on that because they were horrendous. They were terrible. And I was like, screaming and not screaming at my coach, but I was like talking to my coach and like I was just like clearly like frustrated with like how I was jumping. Like, coach, like I don't know if I could do this. Like I don't think I'm gonna be able to like, I don't know, make the finals. But somehow I made the finals. I was like the last person to get into finals and I jumped like a 21.7, which is terrible. Like at the state level. But that meant that I was jumping first at finals. And geez, I remember that was like the craziest like half hour of my life. First jump, it was okay. Um, Second jump was all right. I think my last jump was my best jump, and it put me in second place. Um, and I didn't know it at the time that I was in second place because we don't really like have our phones with us or like even like see like where we are on like the scoreboard. Um, but they put me in second place and I was just like, man, like I hope that jump like does well. And this kid from I don't know, I forget what he was from, but like he was from Albany or something like that. His name was Bashir.
Was it the William Floyd kid?
No, he was ranked number one coming into a state meet, but he finished like sixth or something like that. He didn't really jump that well. He Bashir, like I think he jumped, I think at the time, actually, I think my jump put me in first place, but at the time Bashir was like third or something like that. And he made everyone clap. He just bam, ran down the runway. He pulled out a 23.4 and everyone's like, whoa. And he came in first, came in second. And like last jump of the competition, I was just like, damn, like that kind of hurt. Like he literally like pulled that out at the last jump, and I was just like, well, like I gave it my best, and I accomplished my goal of getting a podium. And like I was happy, but also sad. But I was just again happy to be there, happy on the podium. And in the spring, I felt like I had an even more of a motive to win states. Unfortunately, that was not the case in spring. I think the spring states meet was one of the worst meets I've ever uh competed at. Um, it just I don't know, the overall vibe of like the facility was just not great. Like Lucas went like the pit for the long jump was outside of like the stadium. Like the pole vault was inside. It made no sense, the layout, but like it kind of like I didn't get that like atmosphere that I did in junior year spring. Um, so like I don't know, like I just felt like the vibes were off and I didn't jump well, so it like brought down the whole like situation. I think I ended up coming in like fourth or third or fourth or something like that. I was kind of pissed because I wanted to win, but um, anyways, that was states, like all these experiences were just like crazy. Like I just never thought that I was gonna be in that situation. Like again, like what I said before, like I didn't even know states was a thing. I didn't even know nationals was a thing. And then I was just there and it's just like crazy just meeting people and like just witnessing everyone like just compete. It was just a really cool experience.
I still remember that your junior year, well, our junior year, you making states being the craziest thing, because I knew you were really getting better exponentially every meet at this, but just to mentally comprehend starting an event the same season you win state quals and make states,
That's absolutely
it's so
crazy.
impressive.
Yeah.
It's incredibly impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. It's crazy.
Yeah. What national meets did you go to, and then did you compare that experience with the state meets?
Um, so I think all of them. No, the two outdoor ones were the New Balance ones at University of Penn, and those two were just like they were just like just crazy because you see like all like these big names. Like I don't know who was there. There was just a bunch of like I think like Alicia, not Alicia, what's her name? There was just like so many people there that like you see on like the runner space like page, like you see these people like, well, like those people are like good. Like like I'm like the people that are there, like that barely made it, like they're good, but like there's just like an extra level. Like you felt like the presence. Like you just I don't know, like being at like the national meet was just like a completely like different atmosphere than like states. Like states, it felt like you're going to like I don't know, it felt like you were going to um I need a good analogy. Give me, like 2 seconds. No hate, okay? It's like it's like the state meet felt like Oneonta. Like, like it felt like a nice town, nice like atmosphere, like, felt very like local. But like the national meet felt like it was like Georgia or like Florida, like those huge, like big schools. Like it just felt like so much bigger and so much more like I don't know, like crazy. Again, no hate to Oneonta, love it, been there.
Yeah, but I get what you mean though. It's so much more prestigious to go. Like you're seeing these people, on runner space, like in the flesh. Like it's so much more prestigious than a state meet.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Are you kidding me? We are the biggest school in all of America, and you're coming in here saying that a small school like Georgia is.
Yeah, they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
God, I don't even know who's on that team.
Since
Lucas Berg is on Oneonta. God, he's a big threat right there. Jesse Woodhouse, Noah Pickard, bruh.
don't sleep on
Brandon,
us.
I don't even know what Brendan's last name is.
Brandon Bandoy. Yep.
Shout out.
Okay, I have a very important long jump question, and I don't really know how I have never even asked you just in conversation before. But how important is the clap? Is it just a thing that happens? But no, I'm serious. Does it actually add distance, or is it just like a novel thing that happens? It's just like a fun thing.
Okay, so I feel like there's like very like different ways to use it. So like for me personally, like sometimes I just use it if I need like a little bit more energy, I just need the crowd. Like I hate attention, but like it just gives me like that sort of energy because you feel like everyone's like, oh, everyone's supporting me, everyone's like cheering on for me. And I don't know, that's to me like most of my big jumps came from the clap. Not all the time. Sometimes the clap goes, you foul, you don't even make the pit. You jump terrible. You look bad, but like it is what it is. But you could also look at the clap like it's like I don't know, it's like a mental thing too. Like um I don't know, it's just like it gives you it's like a superpower type of thing. Like, you're like clapping, you're like, okay, okay, it's time to go crazy. It's time to show out. And then you jump. Um, but I think another thing is it's it's meant for like tempo. So like if you think about it like when you're like clapping, right? You start slow and that's when the person's like building up and then they start going faster when the person is running faster. So like you're basically trying to match their like footsteps. So that's like where the clap is. So like some people use it like as a technical thing and then some people just use it as like a mental thing. So really up to you, honestly.
Yeah, so long jumping, in my view, is like an art. Like running, jumping, and then cycling in the air, and then landing. I think landing, important part. I remember back in, my seventh grade days again, first time I ever long jumped, I saw like all the good people, like, oh, they land on their butt, like they're cool, like they're reaching out super far. So that's what I did. Like I sold myself, full commit, landed on my butt, landed on my like right on my tailbone. I got up, I like was seeing stars. I was like about to pass out. It was really bad. But how long did it take you to like get confident with like all the cycles you have to do, like cycling in the air and then landing? Like how long did it take for you to be like confident at it?
Um, well, I just want to touch on about the landing part. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions of long jumping is to land on your butt because like yes, you want to land like sitting in a sense, but you're basically like you're reaching your foot out as far as you can. Your foot lands first, and then you pull your butt towards your foot.
And you land kind of on your heels, right?
Yeah,
See, I'm
you're
just
like
bad and I
guiding
didn't
your
know
butt.
that. So,
Yeah, like I see like I remember I think it was um spring my senior year. So many people just decided to long jump. I just remember like a whole like line and I was like trying to practice. I was like I had to like wait like for like 5 minutes before I like could get my next rep. And it was just constantly just people just like landing like in like an L shape and like landing straight on their butt. Like I like that hurts like your back gets all like messed up. But I think like for me like my coach didn't want me to cycle as much because it was just too much going on in my brain when that happened. So he just made me do the hang. So there's like a couple methods to like jumping. There's like the cycling, there's the hitch hang, which is literally like you just jump up and then you just float. You just let yourself go, you just hang and then you land. And then there's like the hitch, it's like the hitch kick. I don't know. It's like it's a combination of two. So like you cycle like once or twice and then you just hang. But for me, I'm like a hitch hang, like a hang type of person. I just jump, do like one cycle, and then I just float and then just land. Um, I think the landing, I think I really got it down. Um, I got it down my senior year in winter because at like the state meet, I remember jumping. It was a huge jump at the state meet. And the thing was like my back foot was like 2 feet behind me. So like if I jumped like a 25, it would have been a 23. But I jumped like a 22 and it ended up being like a 20-foot jump. So like I think like just the more practice you get, the better you're obviously gonna get. But like again, like long jumping is kind of just like you're building your brain to trust yourself. And I think like my brain kind of just like I don't know, I'm kind of just a chill type of guy. So my brain kind of just like, you know what, just go, YOLO. It is what it is. Like you'll get hurt, but it's okay, you know? So I think my brain really adjusted to that.
Well, I gotta say, me even more so because I didn't. I guess I kind of knew about Noah's long jumping, uh, adventures in 7th grade, but me, as you know nothing about it. We really appreciate getting this little lesson in it.
yeah,
But unless we have anything else, I think it's time to jump into the speed round.
I
Are we
agree.
good with that?
Yeah.
So at every episode, we got some rapid fire questions for all our guests, and you got to see how you do. You can
Yeah.
take your time, I guess, but
Yeah.
try not to. um, but the first one is Noah's famous question.
Yeah. So, what's the largest animal? If you had to fight an animal in a cage match, what's the largest animal you think you can take down?
And I think I got a horse.
Wow,
Wow,
I like.
dude.
You know what? I mean, I don't want to be biased because I know him. I believe him.
What's your strategy for that?
Just don't go behind him. Literally just stay in front. And knock out. That's all you gotta do.
All right. I think the answer is gonna be. Here's the thing. Do you even have the option to wear split shorts ever, or is it just only you can wear half tights?
Yeah, so we actually do have split shirts. I was actually gonna bring them out, but then I was like, you know what? I I don't feel comfortable wearing these split shorts jumping because in the air you're kind of let's just say when you land or you're kind of exposing yourself. So decided not to bring them out. I kind of like the half tights though. Yeah.
I know nothing about long jumping spikes, but Like, how many different pairs are there, and like, what's your favorite pair to use?
Um, I mean, I think every brand has their own um long jumping spikes. I personally like the Nike long jump spikes. I don't know what they're specifically called, but I'm a big Nike long jump guy. I have like three pairs right now. I'm thinking about getting a Puma long jumping spike. I see all the pros wearing them. I mean, I'm not gonna say the shoe makes you jump farther, but you know, I think it's all mental. But I have three pairs of Nike ones. One is my high school pair. I have a current pair, and then now I'm breaking in a new one. So yeah.
I promised myself I wasn't gonna do this. I really did. What's the best way to eat cereal?
So actually, you know, I discovered this new method, and it's actually one of the most not efficient. And it's really not efficient, but I personally hate soggy cereal. So when I was younger, I think I was like 8, I developed a new method of eating cereal, which was to separate the milk and the cereal into two separate containers. So you had the milk in the cup and you had the cereal in the bowl. And yeah, like it really fixed the problem of having not soggy cereal.
And you would just
So
like dip the spoon in?
yeah, so you
Okay.
basically like get your cereal and then you like put it in the milk, let it sit around for like a little bit. Not like too long, but like just a little bit. Then you scoop it out and then you eat it. I hate soggy cereal. And Lucas has made fun of me
No.
I feel like that just
and
takes a long
Jesse
time.
Woodhouse too. They always bring it up and they always try to embarrass me. But you know what? I'm not embarrassed anymore, okay? I am in college and I eat the way I eat and it's look where I am now.
No, you can. And I'm not trying to embarrass you. Just the first time we found out about it, it was so funny. It was just really funny because it was such a sensitive topic for a long. Like you would get visibly angry at us for saying, "Oh, how should you eat cereal?" And I'm glad it's not anymore, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie, they caught me off guard. I think it was a sleepover. Um, I was just being me. I forgot that I was with people and I just pulled out the cup of milk and the cereal and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh,
You guys don't do
it
this.
is." It was kind of embarrassing at first, but you know, it is what it is. I think I think I have started to eat cereal normally though, because it's just time efficient now. When I have time, I like to eat it the way I eat it. So thank you, Lucas, for bringing that up.
I can cut it out if you want. But
No, actually, I want people to um
Discover a new method.
I want exactly, like I feel like people should know about this. If you don't like soggy cereal, just eat it like I do. Make sure you tag me on Instagram and send me a flick.
Great. What's your favorite song right now, and what music do you like to listen to before a competition?
My favorite song right now is shout out Jesse Woodhouse for putting me on, is Little Yachty, Drive Me Crazy. And I am not a Little Yachty fan, so don't hate. But that song is it's just a vibe. Like you wake up to that song and it just boosts your like happiness and everything. Like it's just a good song to vibe on. Um, and I think for meets, I generally just listen to either like hip hop because that's just like you don't really focus on like the lyrics, you kind of focus on like the beat and like the beat kind of gets you going. Or I listen to like depressing music, like Juice World, The Kid Laroi, shout out those two. Because like you get in your feels, you just gotta perform after that. So yeah, it's really like just the mood that I want to be in during the meet. Like if I'm serious, put on that like sad music, and then if I just want to have fun, just put on some hip hop, some R&B, just vibe out.
Best Pixar movie.
Toy Story by far. Do I have to say which one?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Surprisingly, Toy Story 4. I think that was the best Toy Story I've ever watched.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I forgot that existed.
No, it's really. Have you seen it though?
I don't know.
It's really good. It is really good.
What?
I'm a Cars
I
guy.
think okay, wait. I really like Cars too. Honestly, the whole Pixar universe is a W, but I think Toy Story 4 it was just the story. Like you just felt like I don't know, they're not just dolls, they're like actual people. You know what I mean? Like if it was Cars, I think it's Cars too. Very controversial.
Dogs? What?
Wait, Cars 2?
Cars 2.
That's a very hot take.
Dude, it was
Everyone
bro,
hates Cars 2.
I don't like Cars too.
What? Tow as a spy? Come on now. That's not a story, then I don't know what it is. Like I think Tow as a spy is better than Lightning McQueen in his prime.
I'm not gonna judge.
What's your favorite thing to get from the dining hall?
Like we have a dining hall and then we have a marketplace. So like,
Just what's your favorite food to get?
oh man. Okay, so honestly, I can't pick. I have two options. Main bowl, which is in our union. Shout out Mary. She's the best woman you'll ever meet in your life. Lucas, when you come here, I will show you Mary. She's the best. Everyone in Binghamton will know. Um, she works there, biggest smile in the whole entire world. She just makes if you're feeling sad, just go to Main Bowl, get a bowl of General Tao's chicken, and see Mary, and your day is just so much brighter. Or I also like Noodle House, which is in our dining hall, which is like literally like 20 steps away from my dorm. It is arguably like one of the best spots on campus. It's just good noodles. W eats.
So last one, right? Last one.
Yeah.
Controversial question, and I'm excited to hear your answer. I don't know if we've ever talked about it. Does Taylor Swift deserve the praise?
Oh. Okay, so I am not a Swiftie. Sorry if anyone is. I don't think she deserves the hate that she's getting, okay? I think the NFL is doing her so wrong. Every time Travis gets the freaking ball, they just pan to her. They don't need to, that's why people hate her. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like if they did it like once or twice, they'd be like, "Oh, Taylor Swift, like yeah, cool." But like every single time the Chiefs score or like Travis touches the ball, they just pan to her and like it's just like annoying. Like like I'm trying to watch football. I'm not trying to watch Taylor Swift. Like, geez. But I don't think she should be getting this much hate. I feel like there's just I don't know.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because this question has become something else entirely. Because when I started asking it, it was just flat out, she had nothing to do with the NFL. It was just, does her music deserve the praise? And now she's like this whole different thing because of the NFL. You sum it up perfectly. She doesn't do anything wrong. She is doing nothing. It's the NFL. Don't hate on her. I don't even like her music. Don't hate on her.
Exactly.
I'm sounding like Jerry Seinfeld now. But like seriously, don't hate on her. Like, yeah. So in terms of her music, does she deserve the praise?
Okay, well, after her recent Grammy debacle with Lana Del Rey, absolutely not, because she was an L friend. I'm not gonna lie. There was no need for her to be that mean to Lana. But besides all the controversy and besides all the press, I think she makes decent music. Do I listen to it? No. But to all the Swifties, go crazy, I guess. I don't know. Oh, and also she also helped the economy, bruh. Like she boosted up the economy. So W Taylor on that one.
She did.
Yeah, like her concerts generated like $1 billion or
$1
something.
billion.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
For
Okay.
the U.S. economy. Yeah.
Hey, good for her.
Yeah,
I
the U.S.
guess.
economy. Yeah, she helped the U.S. economy because of her Eras tour.
Wow. Okay.
She also caused like 5 earthquakes.
Well, yeah. And she's not really great for the environment,
Yeah.
too. But whatever. Let's not talk about Taylor Swift anymore, even though I brought her up. Last thing, we like to end our shows with asking our guests, is there any piece of advice or just questions that you would like to ask us?
What is your mindset before a race?
Whew. You want me to take that or you want to go?
Yeah, you can go first.
So, I've come a long way, I feel. In high school, this would not have been a pretty answer. You can attest to that. It got really bad. I was always in my head. I had no self-confidence. And I honestly attest all of that self-doubt and no self-confidence to why I've had such a great start to my college career, because I learned from it. I was able to take my past mistakes and take my mental stuff that didn't end up doing any good for me and basically flipped it, essentially. So it really, cross country, I kind of would go into it with the pack mentality of I'm doing this for my teammates. It's bigger than me, which I think is the perfect way to race a cross country race, in my opinion, especially when your team has team goals and aspirations. But now going into track season where it's much more individual, even though you want to help the team, my big thing, especially at BU, was I can do this. And I know that sounds really cliche and whatever, but I really just went into that race going, it wasn't even like a cockiness. It really wasn't even a confidence. It was more of just a matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to do it today. I'm going to achieve my goal. And then I went out there and I did it and I finished and I was happy, yeah, but it wasn't because I knew there's more to come. And I think that's the key, is to not get too high or too low. I'm really just kind of going into it like, yeah, I know I'm fit. I have confidence in my abilities. I'm just going to go and do what I say I'm going to do. And that's been working for me, and I'm hoping to continue that on a large basis going forward.
Yeah, I agree with what you said a lot. I go into it probably a little more confident in my head of like, I like to like convince myself that I'm the best one here. Like on a day I can win, basically. But I find it that I do my best when I'm nervous. And I kind of welcome the nerves, and I'm like, all right, like I welcome it, and then
You love the adversity.
yeah. And then I don't know, chill, put my headphones on, do my warm up, and just kind of go through. I mean, I'm really like routine based. I'd say like I do the same thing every single race. Eat the same thing, drink the same stuff. Even out the same like water bottles. I'm very routine. But it kind of gets me in the right mind space, and then I go in there trusting my training, and then I just race. I think, and then what you said, obviously it's easier in cross country and like relays that you're doing it for other people, not yourself. And I don't know, I'm still learning like what's the best thing
We're always
to do.
learning.
Especially in track races where it's like, yeah, it's only me. Like I saw in high school, I kind of followed in some of the traps where like, does this race really even matter? Like some of these league meets, but I've been trying to get better.
Does that satisfy your question?
Yeah, that was great. That was
Awesome.
great.
Well, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to be honest. I know your work ethic, and I have a feeling this isn't going to be the first time you're a guest here. So I'm excited to have you back at some point after a big win, big whatever it is you do, because I know you're going to do great things. But thank you so much for being here, and really, that's going to do it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Travis, for having me. To all the listeners, have fun, enjoy running, take it day by day. Just smile.
No better words to end on. So yeah, stay tuned next week for Chris Shimkus.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.